has Tailored Brands quietly slipped away from the public eye, becoming a private entity once more? For a company that once had its shares traded openly on the stock market, this isn't just a simple change in corporate structure. It speaks volumes about strategic shifts, financial challenges, and the relentless evolution of the retail landscape. We're going to unravel the complex journey of Tailored Brands, from its roots as Men's Wearhouse to its current status, exploring the pivotal moments that shaped its trajectory, the economic pressures it faced, and what being a private company truly means for a business of this scale. The name Tailored Brands might not immediately ring a bell for everyone, but its constituent parts certainly do. We're talking about the titans of men's formal wear and suiting in North America. Men's Wearhouse, Joss A. Bank, Moore's Clothing for Men, and K&G Fashion Superstore. These aren't just obscure brands. They're household names, synonymous with suits for proms, weddings, job interviews, and countless other life milestones. For decades, they were the go-to for many looking for quality menswear, often at accessible price points, and with that distinct, almost folksy charm, especially embodied by George Zimmer's iconic, "I guarantee it" slogan for Men's Wearhouse. For a significant period, Men's Wearhouse, the original flagship, was a publicly traded company. This meant its financial performance was under constant scrutiny, its shares bought and sold on major exchanges, and its strategic decisions laid bare for investors and the public alike. Going public, often through an initial public offering or IPO, is a major step for a company. It provides access to significant capital, allowing for expansion, acquisitions, and investment in new initiatives. For Men's Wearhouse, this capital fueled its growth, enabling it to acquire competitors and consolidate its position in the menswear market. The acquisition of Joss A. Bank, a move that sparked considerable industry buzz and even a bit of a corporate battle, was a clear example of the kind of aggressive expansion a public company can undertake. But being public comes with its own set of challenges. The constant pressure to meet quarterly earnings expectations can sometimes lead to short-term thinking over long-term strategy. Regulatory compliance is rigorous, and there's a heightened level of public accountability. Every decision, every financial dip, every market fluctuation is magnified under the public gaze. So, when did the tide begin to turn for Tailored Brands? The retail industry, particularly brick-and-mortar apparel, has faced immense headwinds in recent years. The rise of e-commerce, the shift towards more casual dress codes, and then, of course, the seismic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, all created a perfect storm. Events like weddings, proms, and business meetings, which were the bread and butter of Tailored Brands' business model, were drastically curtailed or canceled altogether. Demand for suits and formal wear plummeted. This immense pressure eventually led Tailored Brands to a critical juncture. In August 2020, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. This wasn't a liquidation. Rather, it was a strategic move designed to reorganize its finances, shed debt, and emerge stronger. Bankruptcy proceedings for a public company are complex, involving creditors, shareholders, and a court-supervised restructuring plan. During this process, ownership often shifts, and existing equity can be significantly diluted or even wiped out. And this is where we get to the core question. Is Tailored Brands a private company? The answer unequivocally is yes. Tailored Brands emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in December 2020. As part of its financial restructuring, the company eliminated a substantial amount of its existing debt, and ownership transferred to its new stakeholders, primarily its former lenders. This restructuring essentially took the company private. What does this mean in practical terms? As a private company, Tailored Brands is no longer traded on a public stock exchange. Its financial performance is not publicly disclosed in the same detailed way as a public company's. This allows the company to operate with less short-term market pressure. Management can focus on long-term strategic initiatives without the constant need to satisfy quarterly investor demands. There's greater flexibility in decision-making and less scrutiny from the broader public. This shift can be incredibly beneficial for a company undergoing a significant turnaround or navigating a challenging market environment. It allows them to rebuild, reinvest, and re-strategize away from the daily fluctuations and expectations of the stock market. The ownership of a private company rests with a smaller group of individuals or entities, often the investors who provided the capital for the privatization or who took ownership during a restructuring, as was the case with Tailored Brands' emergence from bankruptcy. In this scenario, those who held the company's debt effectively converted that debt into equity, becoming the new owners. So, the next time you walk past a Men's Warehouse or a Jose bank, remember that the company behind those well-known brands is no longer a public entity. It's a private company, navigating the complexities of modern retail with a renewed focus and a different ownership structure. This shift reflects a broader trend in various industries, where companies facing significant disruption or seeking a strategic overhaul opt for the flexibility and reduced public scrutiny that comes with being private. It's a testament to the dynamic nature of business and the continuous adaptation required to thrive in ever-changing markets. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.